Hello. It's the Bob and Tom Show. Thanks very much for joining us. I look around the room and I see Christy Lee's in stripes looking very good.
Thank you.
You do rock stripes well.
Thank you.
Not everyone does.
I like stripes.
You
Learned
called
a
her
lot.
stripey earlier.
Yeah, you did.
Should I say striped?
Look at the cuffs, though. They're great.
Yeah.
I love those.
Oh, wow.
I didn't
Yeah.
see those.
Hey,
They look like
notice
frilly
those.
panties.
How did you not notice
could
those?
you-
Okay,
Yeah.
What's the word for those?
We have our guest on the
Stupid.
phone. We have Dr. Ken joining us. Dr. Ken Jeong. Ken, can you hear
Oh,
me?
chick.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, how are you, sir? It's always a great pleasure. I was talking about your show earlier today, Dr. Ken, and I mentioned that you are, in fact, I have to repeat this many times, an actual physician.
Yeah, it's still crazy. The more. I mean, it can't be more understated. I mean, it can't be more overstated than that because it's something that still is. I recognize how surreal it is.
But you still do good work as a doctor because I think in many ways, one of your episodes, in fact, I had taped it. I was watching it again recently, in which you were underscoring the importance of certain women's health issues at the same time presenting a really high quality, fun show.
Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate it, and thank you for seeing that episode. That the last episode that we aired was based on my real life wife's history of breast cancer, and she's cancer free for 8 years. So very grateful for that. And I co-wrote that episode dealing with my character's wife finding a lump. It turned out that it was not breast cancer, but it turned out it was suspicious for it, but not breast cancer. But it was definitely. We tried to do it as sensitively as possible, but we also try to make sure we made it as funny as we could at certain spots and really hit the jokes because we didn't want it to be preachy. You see those special episodes all the time, and it can get a little bit saccharine and a little bit like, okay, we get it. And then so we made sure we hit some hard jokes at the same time.
Yeah. Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm very upset about the sort of anti-scientific wave that's happening in our world right now. And as the father of 7, can you do an episode about the importance of vaccinations for kids, please?
Sure. I mean, obviously, as a physician, we all agree. It's important to get vaccinated. I have many patients when I was practicing. They question that, and nowadays, yes, a lot of patients who are well off who have access, to vaccinations. They choose not to do it.
Well, the capital of that is Marin County, California, one of the richest counties in America.
Right. No, I mean, well said, because, and to your point, it is kind of sometimes it is a reflection of medicine in general, where it gets sometimes too drug heavy and everything. You slap a pill on it or you slap a shot on it to solve all your problems. And I believe, there is an over-reliance, on just doctors prescribing drugs. So I understand where the reluctance is coming from. So I do try to see it from their side as well.
Well,
and I'm very empathetic to that. But having said that, I mean, vaccinations save lives.
Now, Dr. Ken, of course, is the program on ABC, and we are talking with Dr. Ken Jeong, very famously coming out of a limo naked in The Hangover. And I remember talking to you about it once, and you were saying that while that was going on, your wife was in the most difficult part of her diagnosis, and here you have to have this great funny scene. But I want to change the subject completely and get to Duke basketball. The tournament's just around the corner. Are you going to get a chance to watch any basketball action?
Not much. Hopefully, maybe by the end, or by the time the Final Four rolls around, because I'm one of the main executive producers on the show. So we'll be editing these episodes right until the finale, which airs at the end of the month. So, hopefully, I can't wait to see the Final Four, and I'm always rooting for Duke. Obviously, I went to Duke undergrad, and they had a great game against Carolina. They came up short and lost, but it was just a It was just a great game.
Now, Ken, tell us a little bit. You're back on the air. What's happening on Friday night?
Friday night, Jonathan Banks, who plays Big Mike on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
Such a great actor.
I also worked with him. Yeah, he's one of my favorite actors, and we worked together on Community for a year, and we've become really good friends. And he plays Ken's old professor, who basically has intimidated Ken, made him feel really insecure. You know, when he was in med school, when he was in training, and this man comes in with an illness, and Ken has to figure out what's going on. But even while this professor is having symptoms, he's intimidating the heck out of Ken, and just trying to still has managed to make his life kind of miserable. And it's Jonathan Banks just puts on probably one of the best singular guest performances, and brings a dramatic tone to the episode, and it was one of my favorite.
Does that come from your experience? Are there still people that intimidate you? As someone who was a physician before becoming an actor, but imagine when you first started acting, it was probably pretty intimidating.
Oh yeah, I mean, like this character, I had a hand in writing this. I have a hand in actually kind of ghost writing or ghost outlining every episode of the show, and so I conceived of this character as an amalgamation of like 2 or 3 professors in my training, who's very intimidating, and the knowledge is intimidating, and the way he would try to put the med students on the spot, very intimidating. So and Jonathan just nails that character and plays it so well, and the fact that we're good friends in real life, you're able to go deeper and he's able to get in my face, and knowing that in real life that won't, that's what I want another actor to do, is to really go at me. So there's points where Jonathan's like yelling at me, where that wasn't really in the script, and we left that in the show because it was almost like a Whiplash kind of proportions,
Yeah.
And
as soon as you see Jonathan Banks, that guy. He's incredibly scary looking. But we have to let you go. Dr. Ken is on ABC on Friday nights. Great show. Ken Jeong is hilarious. And as a graduate of Duke, can you spell Krzyzewski without writing it down?
Yeah, K.
Okay.
That's the easy way out. Thank you, Doctor. Great show. Thanks very much for calling.
Thank you so much.
Sure. That is Ken Jeong. You remember him from The Hang. But the funny part about that, she was telling us the story last time. The funny part of that is, in the original script of The Hangover, when he gets out of the trunk of the car, he's not naked. And he thought of that. He was flying. His wife was being treated for cancer, so he's in this super stressful thing. He's a doctor himself, knows a lot about it, but he's also breaking into acting, so he's nervous about being in the movie. He gets there, and he says to the director, I've got an idea. What if he comes out of the car naked? If he comes out of the trunk naked, and they talked for a couple of minutes, and the director went, yeah, that's a great idea. Hang on a second. And he got one of the producers, and there's a special form you have to sign if you are going to be naked in a movie. So he signed off, and the rest is history. That's such a great scene in that film.
It makes the movie.
It's hilarious.
Because it's just completely and he's great in all those movies. But Dr. Ken's a good show. Nice kind of a family show on an ABC sitcom. Has kind of that Disney feel.
Yeah, you can watch with the kids and not feel worried about it.